Call this Montorville School Board meeting to session. Please rise for salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mr. Albert,
Here.
Mr. Badger is absent. Mr. Eisenhower,
Here.
Mr. Gardner,
Here.
Mr. Housenick is absent. Ms. McCoy. Here. Ms. Meyer. Here. And Mr. Young.
Here. Recognitions and presentations. I don't see anybody. Public comments. Each Montorville resident will have 3 minutes in order to provide public comment on the agenda items. Seeing none online, look for hands. None online. General agenda items. Like to consolidate 3.1 through 3.4. You want to take a quick look at those? And I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 4.1, approval of the following retirement from a member of the professional staff. Teresa Hill, school nurse, 24 years of service. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Should have consolidated these, but 4.2, approval of the following additions to the sports staff and substitute teacher list for 25-26 school year. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. 4.3, approve the following FMLA leave for members of the staff. See the employee number. Motion to approve. Motion approved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 5.1, consideration and approval of a specific construction management option. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second. Discussion.
So my questions, with Site Logic, that would be full-time on site. Correct.
Correct, with John Breezan, who's in the audience tonight. So if you have any questions for him, he's prepared, as is Joe Nalfo. He's prepared if you have any questions that direction. Anything specific to what they would be doing?
I guess the differential, I think, between 1 and 2 is not so great that I wouldn't go with 2. So it's more at view. And your thoughts on it, Joe, on handling all of it?
We had a long talk, Dan and I, about that particular situation, and I was always on board with a 50-50 with Mr. Kastner or 50-50 with somebody, because I do have another job.
Right.
I really was never in favor of the whole thing all by myself.
Okay.
I would have to put so much time into that and then have so much time into this job. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Even with the secretary or even with, it would be difficult.
Okay.
So I was always under the impression that you.
Mine's equal.
The 50-50 thing I was all on board with, but if it has to be all by myself, that's why I told Dan, that would be a real struggle. it would be unfair to him and the district, and it'd be probably unfair to me, so.
I just wanted to get your thoughts. I sort of agree with it, but we'd rather hear from the
We'll
horses.
probably do it, but I don't know at what cost, you know what I mean?
Right. Right, okay. And then as opposed 1 to 2, having someone full-time is preferential to you then splitting with somebody. I'd rather have it contained under one person. So to me, it was either you or Site Logic, right? And of course, you know, Joe, you're a little less expensive. No offense. But he is cheap.
I'm not easy though.
But I wanted to get your thoughts on it, and everything like that, and sort of have that discussion. That's all I had.
Question I would have would basically be for the general public, what is this? I know it's self-explanatory, but the construction management, what does all that incur?
You wanna take that one? Simply put, it's the babysitter
It's the
of
general manager of the project.
the contractors, the architects,
With any supervisory ability over the actual
End of the
subs
day,
or?
it's my job is to watch for you guys. I'm gonna watch over any change orders that come through, review the change orders. I see you do open the books tonight to go to yourself and ability, and also Joe. Any change order before you can come to you, before you ever see it, will come to me. I can give you 2 examples. Your neighbor, South Williamsport. $70,000 in concessions coming back just because of bad design that I found the fault the architect for. I mean, it's what, I can't say it's what I do every day. I'm willing to actually come out of my cushy corporate job and come back into the field because I love this district so much. You know, right now I can commute down the hall, say good morning to my dog, get my coffee. But I'd rather be able to oversee and do for here what our company does elsewhere. I mean, which is basically be your watchdog. You know, make sure stuff's right, make sure stuff's installed right, make sure you're getting what you're paying for, go over the plan step by step finishes. I can cut costs at some point, it's late in the game, if I can find things to cut costs at this point or make changes. That's gonna come right to the forefront, get the permit issue worked out, and get these permits issued is my first way.
done.
Done, got it.
Man, you're good. That was quick.
Well, there was a.
The box,
You got
it's
the-
not even hired yet.
You know, stormwater?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that was.
we're on Monday's borough agenda
Yeah.
for approval,
That
so.
was a little pro bono my company allowed me to do. I was working for Todd Fleischer a little bit on that one on your guys' behalf, so.
So I have a quick question. I'm reading here, it says a closeout phase services are
Yeah.
available, but that's not included in the fee. What would those encompass? Like, are we
That's
looking at
your
mainly?
final walk through your final closeout. That's about a 50-50 split, whether the districts want that or not from us. Usually at that point, the contractors, the designers and everybody have been reined in enough. And everything is at its deadline point. You can make that decision at the end whether you want me to continue through with closeout and we can just give you the fee for that, but. We don't like to build that in right now because a lot of times by the time you get that in the project, it's not necessary. We don't wanna charge you for something you don't need.
Okay.
I mean, it's not fair just to say, hey, we're gonna add this in and knowing we're not gonna do much with it for you.
So what typically would that fee be if we were?
That I do not know. I honestly do not know. I can find out from Damien, so you guys would know for the future if we would look at it, but that I don't know.
Guesstimate?
What's that?
Guesstimate?
No.
We're kind of be
Based
based on,
dartboard, I'll throw it in. So that's what you'll get from me.
You wanna throw a number out there?
depends on how much you would do at that time.
Exactly.
You know,
how
until
it's
then.
Go for
And by time the project wraps up. Closeout is just that little tiny end phase. By that point. I control the building to the best of the abilities to that point. So I mean, there's not a lot left for closeout typically.
It sounds like you're volunteering to do that, so thank you. Just,
My daughter goes graduate from this school. This district is done for them, happy to be able to give something back to do something. District.
And we specifically, working with Site Logic, requested John to be on this project, knowing the relationship that we've had
Great.
in the past and just the work that he's done over at South Williamsport as well. But his phones are going.
I know, nice and fun, that.
So we would appreciate working with John on something other than parents and.
Right. It's a little-
Parents and principal.
It's a little different working on this.
Yes.
side of it. I look forward to it. Like I said, this district's very dear to my heart, so. It'll be kind of cool to be able to work through it and make it run smooth. That's it.
I was gonna say, for the public knowledge, that your scope of what you do is on the agenda.
Exactly, it's pretty smooth, yeah.
Yeah, the proposal is in the public
It's in the,
content.
yeah, it's in the public. Great. Thank you.
Any other discussion on this? Dan, would you, any final words?
I don't think so. Joe was, I'll just add that Joe was in the running if we could get, Dick Kastner on board. Dick worked on the high school project. We're familiar with him, but that's a stretch, to share somebody and working on two projects. And then Joe doing it alone, as he said with his own words, that's really unfair to him. Snow removal took up the past 2 days basically for him. So to throw a project on top of that, Joe's very hands-on and doesn't have a second in command to necessarily throw all of that hands-on work to. So our concerns were with the district. My concern was with Joe and being unfair to him, asking him to try and do. He's still gonna be involved though. We want at the end of this, he still has to maintain the building when it's done. He's been heavily involved in the HVAC, the electrical, plumbing. He's been heavily involved with the design phase. So he will continue to be involved in the project.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We will be working together. He's not the only one that's gonna be watching the districts. I work here, so I will, no matter what's my fault, I will still be figuring out what's going into that building. I have the submittals, I have the RFIs, I will be looking at everything. Tim and I have pretty much designed this whole building, and we wanna make sure what we talked about gets in there. So.
Yeah, I was reviewing
That's-
submittals
that's-
today, so.
Yes, I don't think I'll be making decisions on my own. I mean, everything will go through Joe and through Dan. I'm not here to make decisions on your building or your project. I'm here to work 100% in association with the actual district. I don't just come in and say, I don't care what Joe wants. Well, you wouldn't anyway. I do, it's not Joe, we on myself.
So the only other thing I would add is we would need to amend the motion to select the specific option.
I have one additional question. Is this cost already in the construction project or is this above and beyond?
That's already in the estimates of the project.
All right, so a motion to amend 5.1 to include option 2 only.
Motion amend.
Who was the original on that?
Sure.
I think it has to go that way. Are you in favor of the amendment to that motion?
Motion to amend.
Okay, and then who was second? Brad was second. We're good now.
Any further discussion on the amendment to the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5.2, approval to authorize the superintendent to approve change orders related to the additions, renovations of later elementary project up to $20,000. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. T?
That can be adjusted down. I threw a max number because of transparency in the public agenda. So that's the max number. If you want it less, that's fine. I would request no less than 15,000 though. And again, all of those will be reviewed through Site Logic, Joe, myself, and they still come before you retroactively for approval. It just helps keep the project moving.
I guess my only question is if like 20,000 change orders come in 1 week for some crazy reason.
That's gonna be a bad week.
It's gonna be a bad week. But it could happen.
It could.
That's where my only concern comes into play is, and not that I don't trust you, but like a $60,000 change order, you know, I mean, if you're getting multiple change orders over the course of, in between those 2 weeks of us meeting, right? So let's say you have 3, 4 change orders in a 2-week period. I think the difference, I'm comfortable 20,000, right? But like you get to that $100,000 mark and then there's a, you know, you're in a wiggle space and it could happen. And I don't know if, you know, we can write in there, you know, no more than X amount of change orders per in between.
Between meetings.
Yeah, that's what I guess that's what I'm trying to say, because that could snowball fast.
So-
Especially when you're in the height of construction and in the summer months, when you're really working, if all of a sudden there would be all these change orders and it would go, you know, and
Sure.
I'm hoping that never happens, but I also would like to keep a handle on what's going on.
So you could add to that up to 20,000. A maximum of
3,
between meetings.
yeah.
Maximum of what?
Can I suggest you do a
60,000.
money amount and not a number, because if you have 6 that are only.
Oh, max, right, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
max
gotcha.
money.
Yeah,
So I have 20,000 to a maximum of 60,000 every
Between,
2 week period
well, just put
between
between
meetings.
meetings.
between.
Because
Regularly
because in
scheduled.
the summer,
Only have one.
in the summer day, we only have one
Between,
per month. In July and August. Or June, July, whenever.
Yeah, June, July, August.
Now, would these be change orders that are over and above the budget? That's what's been budgeted?
Some could be deducts where you're changing the other way, so it's,
One recommendation I can make, if you do that, you're only having a month in between, not be able to approve a change order, depends on what it is, can slam the brakes on a project pretty quickly. So if you've got a month, between 2 weeks isn't too bad, but if you've got a full month in between meetings, and you would get hit with a bunch of change orders, say you hit extra rocks, something happens, I mean, something simple. You could at that point cause a problem when delaying your construction.
Or if we would get to that point where we feel like it's gonna, or you can call an emergency
That's the
meeting.
other
too.
option. As long as you have that ability to go in the summer, that's fine, but I would definitely not want to see it go forward.
No, and I get what,
that's what I was doing.
yeah, I get what you're saying, but I also get the fact that we need to sort of, you know what I mean? I just wanna make sure we're keeping everything
We would see
tight.
something.
And not that I
like
don't think you will, but I think also for public transparency, I don't wanna walk in here and we had to do $120,000 worth of change orders and the public wasn't aware. So that's my other part of it too, is I think that we're trying to be as upfront with everything that's going on. It hasn't been an easy situation, and the less that we can incur of like, you know, how did we end up with X amount of change orders? I would prefer that,
Agreed.
so. But yeah, if we would run that situation, I have no problem doing an
Yeah, so-
emergency meeting. Don't mind if I come in my gardening clothes, though, right? I mean, I have showered. Yeah, well, no, I still have to work
First
sometimes, those evening hours.
Who was first?
Yeah.
Motion?
Yes.
Sharon.
So then are you okay to amend a maximum of 60,000 between meetings?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
okay to amend.
And who's seconded?
I'll second.
Tina.
any further
We're gonna do
discussion?
the same thing to you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
What's Joe's max? Well,
That's
we
what I
gotta
was
do that.
sitting here
Oh,
thinking
we gotta
about.
do that, sorry.
Yeah.
Let's ask his wife, what's his max spend?
Sorry, we gotta do the motion.
Dave's
Oh,
gonna,
no.
Dave's gonna,
acknowledge you
you gotta
guys.
call
Is this what she does to
5.3
you?
before
Goes
we
in one
talk
ear
about
out the
it.
Huh? What?
You need a motion for what? There you go.
Second.
5.3, approval to authorize the Director of Buildings and Grounds to approve change orders related to the additions renovations of the later project up to $5,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
I think it should be set up the same way.
So 20,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah, 5 to 20.
yeah,
5
5
to
to
20, yeah. Give me a.
So the new one is approval to authorize the Director of Buildings and Grounds to approve change orders related to the additions renovations The lighter elementary project up to $5,000 with a max of 20,000 between meetings.
I put 20 because that's where Dan is at 20. Do you know what I mean? So
We figured that out.
there's a method to the madness.
Who was first on that?
It was me again.
Are you okay for that?
I am okay with that.
Amendment, okay. And a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion passes. 6.1, approval of the school tax year 2025 settlement reports for real estate and interim real estate taxes. Motion,
motion to approve.
Second.
discussion? All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion passes. 7.1, gymnasium lighting update. Mr. T.
Yeah, Joe and I, we met today, we squeezed that into his budget for the 26-27 school year. I got a complaint that it was too bright the other night, so. But it's, I mean, they're old enough that it's a concern that if they all go at once, we're really in trouble, so. So we're gonna try to work that into next year's budget. You have anything you wanna add to that?
You wanna add to that?
I don't know, the person that complained might have been hanging from the rafters with fangs or something. Yeah, I don't think I got anything else other than I don't know if you know, like I say, I know Joe and I discussed a little bit about Wellsboro and what they had up there. You have contact or whatever.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a savings over the long run.
There's many options. We can go over, you know, what everybody thinks. There's some very expensive options and there's just straight LEDs.
But like
You
you
talking about
say,
changing, just not replacing the lights, changing the standards and everything and reworking.
Whole
the lighting?
relighting, yeah.
It would be just, there's like 80 of them, all new lights, all LED lights.
you probably wouldn't need as many with what you got with the balusters and the.
No, well, you would want to keep that and have the switching so that we don't ever have to worry about somebody worried about dim ever again. It's a big gym.
Yeah, and you got lots of options there as far as, you know what I mean, with the LED lighting and. You know, being able to, you know, I mean, they'll be able to scale it out and. But definitely gonna be a savings in the long run.
Oh, yeah.
Any other discussion on that? Okay, 7.2, baseball field update, Mr. T.
Yeah, we're in the process of reaching out to AstroTurf. They did our football field. We have equipment to maintain that field, so it only makes sense if we're going to switch to turf to work with them. They are on a state contract. I mean, get in touch with Glenn Smith when we can actually see the baseball field. Like coming, it's all white right now, so once some of this melts, we'll get up there and take a look at that, because there's more than just, my understanding, more than just turf you want reviewed, so more of a whole complex type of thing. And then that's about it for that right now. Questions?
No question. 7.3, Loyalsock Valley sale update, Mr. T.
Yeah, I've contacted a few real estate agents. None are getting back to me. I hope that's not a sign that they want nothing to do with the sale of that property. I'm also gonna reach out to a few auction houses as well. So we will, like I did with the site logic and construction management, I'll present to you a variety of options for that once I get that put together. And then linked to that, Lighter Elementary, we did have a meeting with the borough today. got the engineers in the same room, talked things through. We no longer have to provide financial security to the borough as a condition for approval. That was gonna cost us money above and beyond what the project is. We agreed that we represent the same tax base. Did not make sense to try and add costs that eventually would land on the taxpayer, so. That was a relief. We are on their agenda for next Monday for our approvals for land development and building permits, so that was good news. And with the weather, they're not really gonna be able to start anything outside right now, so that's still on track. Any questions?
All right, now we'll move on to public comment. Any Montoursville taxpayer with 3 uninterrupted minutes? Being none in the audience, we'll look online. No hands online. Any further discussion in relation to the agenda tonight?
I just have one thing.
Yep.
And only because this was from last week, and I want to give a hats off to the cheerleading squad, for their resilience in going back and forth to Texas last week. And I almost feel like there's an apology needed to that squad from the adults that sent them. Because we knew there was a huge winter storm coming. They never should have gotten on the plane. I raised those concerns countlessly because I was in Texas, and I feel bad for them. And I feel bad for the girls that they didn't have an opportunity to compete virtually. And I just feel that if we're ever in this situation again, hopefully not, we don't see a storm of a decade, that we don't put girls on a plane to fly back the next day. They were issuing travel vouchers all over the place through the airlines to not go on your flights. And I feel bad because it's lost money and they lost the opportunity to compete. And there were a lot of girls that competed virtually. If you watched the Instagram account, you could see that there were a lot of girls that won that competed virtually. So I just want to, almost say, I'm sorry to the girls that we put you on a plane and hold you back, but it was for their safety. It was bad down there. I was there all week and all you heard was prepare for the worst. They didn't get it as bad, but all the airports were closed. So that's the only thing I wanted to say in the public eye of, I commend those girls. That's a bunch of teenage girls. And I know that wasn't an easy thing for them. That's all.
Thank you.
I'll add, I was one of those adults, and I do apologize, but I'm programmed to not quit on kids, and I wasn't gonna quit on them until somebody told me to and Mother Nature told me to. So
But I told you.
it's unfortunate, so I needed Mother Nature to tell me.
Well, I was actually in the state and kept.
On the 10th, we will have a showcase of the cheerleaders at 7:00, maybe 6:30, 7:00. To kind of kick off our meeting, so we are planning that. So they will be able to do their routines, at least for us, and we're gonna invite the public as well to come out and support the girls that support all of our student athletes at the various sporting events, so looking forward to that event for them. And then I also wanted to add Terry Hill's retirement. She's a pro, she's gonna be missed. That's gonna be a hard position to replace, as you know, Miss McCloy. School nurses are very valuable to a school district, and
Yeah, they are.
as you know as well, so yeah, that's gonna be a big loss for us. Terry and I worked together for many years and thought we were gonna go out together. She beat me.
Anyone else? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion adjourned. Meeting adjourned.